welcome back to the Magic Kathi show. And the Trinity of Nines that we have in the sky today, I felt really called to give you an energy update about this week moving into March and this triple conjunction that we have today, all at 9 degrees of Pisces. And more so to really tap into what it means to be alive and to reclaim our power as energetic beings or as energy in this physical incarnation. And more than anything, I want to talk about reprogramming yourself and taking control and ownership of your physical experience and becoming aware of why specific things are manifesting in the way they are and how you can change that. So that all sounds a little bit, what the fuck is going to happen in this episode? But it's really, it's a really deep teaching, but at the same time, your door to freedom. And it's probably something that not all people want to know and hear, because it means that from that moment when you listen to what I'm sharing with you and it resonates with you, and you feel like, yes, man, she's really saying something here, then there is no point in your experience anymore where you can feel like a victim. There is no room anymore for feeling like a victim, because you know that you created it, and then also you know how to create differently. So only people that are ready to stop playing the victim, right, are able to even understand what I'm saying and to really hear it in a deep way, in the deepest way that they need to hear it in order to also make the physical changes and, take different actions. So I talk a lot about, reprogramming yourself and your cells, right? And that analogy in itself is important to understand, because you are the cells in your body. And so you can imagine that you have been the blend of energies of, your DNA and your ancestors and, the family you grew up in, and also, the belief systems of your parents and, what happened when you were in the womb. It's like all, imagine you are a computer collecting data from very early on up until now, right? You're literally like a storehouse of information, which translates in the storehouse of frequency. And that storehouse of frequency is literally wired, your cells are wired to fire in a specific way, right? To send you specific signals and to really run on autopilot, because it's always been like that. And you never realize that you have the power to observe a program that is running and then to be like, wait a second, do I actually want to continue with that program running in the background, or do I actually want to close it, And we didn't know that we are able to do that. We thought we were that program, and that program is just what's happening, right? And maybe we didn't even know that it was a program running. We thought, well, that's us, right? And no, we are just a collection of frequency, right? And vibrate on that level. And because we vibrate on that level, we get in resonance with experiences that also vibrate on that level. So the secret key here to creating different experiences and manifesting different results, or finding yourself in literally a vibrational different earth, as a lot of people speak about, right, is your frequency. It's literally when you change your frequency, you are traveling to different places. If you think of the universe, right, everything as energy with different light spectrums, energy spectrums, then as soon as your energy shifts, you literally travel to a different space in time, and a different space in space-time, a different space and location in the universe, so to speak. So a different version of Earth, let's just say that, right? And that's important for you to know. So you're traveling with every vibrational shift that you are making. you can travel, you know, higher, lower, all of that. And we travel all the time. We float all the time, right? We witness that in ourselves, where our mood swings or our thoughts create havoc. And then we find ourselves in weird situations where everything seems dull and gray. And then, I mean, that happens to me so many times, where I wake up and I'm fucking, you know, tired and all of the things, and it's windy and everything is great. And then I meditate, and when I open my eyes again, all of a sudden the sun is out and everything is bright. And I'm like, I definitely traveled somewhere, because this is not the same route, right? And this is why, you know, a lot of people speak about it, and we've heard it before. Your attitude really makes an effect on what you experience that day. And it's basic law of attraction 101. Law of attraction just means you attract your frequency, right? And everything in the outside is a reflection of your frequency. And if you are not aware of your frequency, you might feel like you are a victim of the circumstances that happen around you, but really it's just reflecting back to you the vibrational state you are in. So you can be grateful, because then it shines a light on, oh my gosh, I have to go and work on my frequency right here, right? Because literally what I'm experiencing is quite shit. So I should go back to the basics, work on my light, because I came here as a light worker and I'm meant to shine a light. And that's my whole point. With Saturn calling us out this week, it's really for us to understand that we will find ourselves in a lot of density and darkness a lot, because we came here to transmute that and to illuminate, right? And to bring back the light. But we can only do that if we understand how to transmute energy, how to manipulate, however you want to say that energy, how to transform it from density into light. So we will always be in those situations where we feel like, oh my gosh, it's so dark, it's so dense, it's so like not what I want to experience. Well, yes, because then you get to work and you get to transmute that energy into a higher vibration, right? And instead of feeling like you are a victim of your circumstances, see it as a task. You know, so many of us ask, like, oh, what's my purpose? What am I here to do? Like, and literally that's our only job, to transmute that density into light and to not get caught up in it, right? So to ride the wave and be like, oh, the wave is here for me to clear the earth, to clear the planet, to clear the collective from that wave that is flowing in here. That is not me, but I'm here to witness it, to observe it, and then to know what to do with it and to transmute it, right? And that's your power, because it's a privilege. It's a really fucking privilege that we can sit here, or whatever you do while you listen, right, and talk about these topics and have all the tools and have that awareness even of what's happening. Because, you know, our family, our parents, some of our friends, co-workers, whatever it may be, you know, so many people on this planet don't even know what we are talking about here. They don't even know a world like that exists, which already tells you and confirms to you that you literally are in a different state of vibration and a different place in Earth, so to speak, right? You're literally like in a completely different universe. And we have to go back sometimes and sprinkle those seeds into the collective. And sometimes you do that in a very obvious way, you know, by sharing knowledge and stuff like that, or talking to people about it, or bringing it to awareness to others. But sometimes it's also just us taking it in and transmuting it for others that are not able to do it themselves, right? And that's also our job. So, and we don't need recognition for that. We don't need validation. We know that by us transmuting the light, right, and by shining brighter in the face of darkness, we did our job. You know, we don't need anyone to validate it or to applaud or any of that, because at the end of the day, it's not about, you know, us getting like validation. As I said, that's the ego, right? At the end of the day, it's us all wanting to have a nicer and, you know, more beautiful experience here on Earth. And we have specific roles assigned to us. As I feel like I put a broken record, but I guess I need to say it again, right? We all have different roles, and we all find ourselves in different places, so we can spin a web of light all around the globe, right? And so your job might be to be a fucking firehouse light in your family, or in your relationship, or in the situation where you are at work and you feel like, fuck, I shouldn't be in this job and all of that. You are there for a reason, to shine a light there for a reason. And the ego might not always like it, right? But that's really what you're meant to do at this moment in time, because otherwise, the higher power, the higher forces would literally bring it to your attention and let you know that it's time to go. Right? And if there's no other opportunity, or if nothing else comes up and you feel like, I don't know what else to do, then chances are you're right exactly where you need to be right now in this moment. Does that mean forever? Not always, right? So just trust that the right timing will open a new opportunity and door for you. And I wanted to talk about that because I feel like with this Saturn Mercury Sun conjunction 999 in Pisces, there are a few things that are happening right now. It's very, I get the message, it's very clear for all of us right now that there's one specific thing that we need to focus on. It's almost like so crystal clear, there are no doubts about it anymore, other than obviously if you create a doubt in your mind because you don't want to hear and know what it is, But it's like calling us out so strongly, almost like, me with this episode where I'm like, well, you create your frequency. Don't think that it's the universe out there, the world out there, that none. Like, you have the power to create your own frequency. You have all the tools in the world to work on your frequency. You have meditation, you have sound, you have light, you know exactly what you need to do. You listen to this episode to change your frequency and to change your vibrational state. There's literally no doubt about it, right? And in the same way I'm calling you out in that way, I feel that it's very clear from our higher self, higher intelligence, however you want to say that, your heart essentially, what you need to do. And we won't get away with it anymore to not do that. Like, we would literally feel stupid. That's how I feel. Like, we would feel stupid if we keep asking the question, like, what am I meant to do? What's the next step? Like, what do I need to focus on? I feel like we all know. It's this moment of truth has spoken and I know it and I don't know what to say anymore. That's how I feel. Because I also feel a very like observing, pause, silent energy. Again, like as if someone just spoke fucking truth and it hit us by surprise in a way, but then also not. But we were just shocked that it was just shoved in our face this strongly, where it's like, fuck, there's nothing I can say to this anymore other than, yeah, you're right. Fuck, I'm humbled. That's how I feel. So feel into what comes up for you and know that this is the answer that you wanted, and now it's on acting on it. Because and that brings me to the beginning of the episode, what manifests and creates a new experience for you, because you listen. You listen, and by taking the action, voting, so to speak, for the person you're meant to be here, there's a grief part to it where it's like, fuck, I can't get away with this tactic anymore. I really have to do this now. Like, fuck, right? But I don't really feel there's a level of fear to it anymore. It's more just like, gosh, like, yeah, I know I need to do it, and it's so fucking hard. But in a way, I feel like I can do it. But then in a way, I also feel like, where is this going to lead us? And gosh, it was kind of difficult to build my life up until this point. And now I'm just like, doing something completely different. How? And yeah, no, the ego always doubts and questions, but we have to trust here. To be like, okay, if a spirit is calling us out this strongly and like giving us all the messages from all corners, including this episode, then we might as well just trust that our heart doesn't lead us into chaos and crisis, you know? So what is it that is coming up for you? I'm really asking you, because we also move into Gene Key 63 this week, which is all about your truth and, you know, doubting your truth and doubting that it's really safe to live your truth and to be your truth, to be untamed, to be just radically the energy and vibration that you're meant to be, because it will confront people. It will, you know, the moon is in Libra as well. Like there's still this people pleasing that we need to let go of, and we just radically need to follow our path. Like that's really what I feel. And it's like, stop saying and telling yourself the story that you don't know your path, that you forgot about it. You know, it's all in here. It's all in your heart. It's literally a storehouse of memories, but also of the codes, you know, where you did remember. When you came here, you knew exactly what to do, right? And it was coded and colored by all of these frequencies. But if you let go of these frequencies and you literally work on your vibration as much as you raise and rise above those frequencies, you can see it as a layer of frequency. When we speak in hertz, for example, well, all of those limiting beliefs and all of these, you know, programs and all of that, they are only able to run in a specific energetic spectrum, right? And so if you move yourself over the spectrum, that threshold, so to speak, those programs, those frequencies, that density can't even reach you anymore. You literally fly above it. You traveled to a different location in the universe where you're not reachable by those vibrations anymore, right? Literally. But how do you do that? You have to act on it. You have to literally tell yourself and program yourself in a way where you're raising your vibration. Every time you catch a program wanting to leash on you, that's a signal for you to be, wait, I'm in a vibrational match for that right now. So I need to work on my frequency again, rise, right, in vibration, and raise my vibration and rising in my vibration, which means that I'm traveling into a different space and time and in the universe where that can't reach me anymore. So every time you experience that old program wanting to kick in, that old cell in your system wanting to fire, and it's very normal, there's a purging to it, right, in your system, because your cells only know that, so we have to train ourselves to know different, right? It's like, okay, cells, that old program wants to run again, right in the moment when you wake up. It's very much like the old autopilot is kicking in again. And well, this is always what I have done, you know, it's always what I do. That's how I know my day to start. It's how I know my day to end. And that's very much the integration point, Pisces, polarity point being Virgo. Okay, we need to shake things up. We need to literally tell ourselves and shove in our faces that we are different now. We are operating in a different way. And I sound very redundant, even in my voice, but this is what it is, right? It's like literally a new routine, a new habit. It's a new circuit that needs to fire until your new cells really do it on autopilot, where it's like, yeah, well, that's how I am now. That's who I am now. This is how I know myself to be now, right? In a way, it's acting, yeah? Acting your way to wake up in that vibration at some point where this is your new normal. It's like training yourself a new threshold of vibration where those old programs can't reach you anymore. And yes, that means clearing and purging, because that also means that people on that vibrational spectrum that might now be a vibrational match to you might fall away, might all of a sudden be gone. That might be scary, but it's essential for you to be open to let that go, right? Which also means that you might not be a vibrational match anymore to specific locations or to specific hobbies or to specific food or to specific things that used to bring you joy. And then it's like, wait, what am I doing now? Like, who am I now? So it's this new exploration, but by just keeping the focus on your heart and the resonance in your heart and your core frequency, literally core, you will be led every time, anytime, to the things that bring you joy and happiness. That's as easy as I can explain it, right? Because the true things that really light you up, they all of a sudden become that vibrational resonance to you being the vibrational resonance and in your resonance, in your heart, in your core frequency. So every time you feel off of your frequency, it's really just a signal for you to be like, okay, wait a second, energy 101, I have to raise above it, and I can because I have all the tools to do it, right? And obviously, if you really feel like I don't remember any of what I'm here to do and all of that, again, you have all the tools at hand. You can book a reading, we can go into your gene keys, your human design, your astrology, your energetic blueprint, essentially. The answers are out there for you. Like, that's what I mean with like spirit calling us out. It's not like you would not know where to find guidance and where to find that access point of remembering. We know what we have to do, right? And it's just a matter of, do I let the mind kick in because of finances or because of what the fucking limitations that, spirit is like always putting into our minds, where it's like, oh no, it doesn't work because of timing or because, whatever. It's just resistance towards hearing the truth, towards being called out, because then again, you have to step into that Saturn responsibility of being like, okay, wait a second. It's a privilege that I have these insights. It's a gift and I have to use it. I see more than my parents, which doesn't mean that I'm doomed because I've been raised and born in that family, or I'm in this workplace where everyone is so asleep and like, oh my gosh. And then you feel like you are doomed because you are there. No, it's actually a privilege that you have those insights. Those people don't, right? And so what can I do with it? How can I use it? How can I make the world a better place? How can I shine my light? Because that's really what we all came here to do. So I would love to hear from you what comes up for you under this transit. Please feel free to share it with me on Instagram if you want. And again, if you need a little, kick in the butt and you need a master plan for taking the right actions and, doing the steps that Spirit is calling and screaming at you right now, then let me know. We can book a breakthrough session, a reading, however you want to be activated at this moment in time. It's pivotal. We are moving into eclipse season. March is going to be another eclipse. And yeah, I can't believe it. It's like, haven't we not just been out of eclipse season? Now we are in it again. But it's all, again, course correcting and spirit taking over, which sometimes is the best because it's also a relief. You don't have to micromanage everything. It's all in good hands if you just lean back and enjoy the show instead of trying to manipulate it all the time and trying to force things. And really, we just have to go with the flow, and we will end up in the most beautiful, or on the most beautiful island. But we have to loosen our grip here and be open to change, very much so, because the world needs it. Everything we witness in the world is a manifestation and a reflection of the change that we really need. And it starts within you, the war inside of you, right? With all of that being said, share the episode, screenshot it, and share it on Instagram, share it with a friend, tag me so I can repost it as well. And yeah, just hear how it resonated and when you listen, how you listen. And yeah, again, if you feel free to share anything that came up while you were listening, but also in general in your life, I always love to hear that. And with all of that being said, I speak to you very soon whenever the stars align and the energy wants me to share something. I love you all. Thank you so much for your love, your time with me, and we will hear each other very soon. Step in your magic.